Hi, this is Fred Barstein with 401k TV at the University of California in Sacramento. We just completed a TPSU program here, and I'm here with Wayne. Welcome, Wayne.
Thank you.
We're in Wayne's world. And okay if we ask you a few questions?
Of course.
Very good. But before we do, why don't you give our audience a little bit about yourself, what you do and your company?
Certainly. I'm Wayne Ryland. I'm human resources manufacturer for human resources manager for an ethanol manufacturer. We have plants in 5 states, about 600 employees.
Great. Well, one of the things that you talked about today that really struck me is you have a way to engage employees to increase their contribution rate. So what is it that you do?
Certainly. I just got back from an extended tour. Over the last couple of months, we had our annual 401k meetings. Yep. And during these meetings, we had limited participation, like just about, I think, everybody faces at their annual meetings.
Got to bring pizza.
We brought pizza, we brought breakfast, we brought everything, and we still had limited participation. Yeah. But what we did is, as part of our HR team, is we put together a plan where we actually not only looked at what employees were deferring, but we also took and broke down their paychecks. And we took and looked at, okay, if you're only deferring 3% right now, what would it actually look like to defer to 6%? Right. And we actually showed them the difference. And we had that going into these one-on-one meetings that we did with employees. And we showed them the difference of not only their check, but then we went to our third-party administrator site and we showed them the difference of bumping from that 3% to that 6% and what it looked like in retirement and the actual number of dollars that were available to them in retirement. And
it's not the full 3% because they get a tax break, right?
Exactly.
So, but you did talk about when people get a raise. What do you do then?
Certainly. Well, in March, we actually did an auto sweep, which brought a lot of people into the plan for our company. But what I did during these one-on-one meetings is we also talked about putting in an escalator, so that in April or so, if raises come out in March, let's say, that I spoke to them that let's set it for a April 1st auto escalation each year. So each year you take 1% of your raise. So your net pay is still going up. You're not seeing a decrease in your check, but we're going to take 1% of that and we are going to put it into your 401k. And they were able to look and see what that extra 1% each year looks like in retirement and the number of dollars available to them.
And so what's the reaction of people and what's been the effect on the plan?
It's been amazing. There are very few people that I spoke with, and when they actually saw the numbers, weren't willing to realize that, yeah, I do need to think about retirement. We talked about the cost of retirement and how much it's going to cost them in retirement, but we saw our participation rate grow to better than 97%. From way down in the 67s, I think, 65s. We saw our average deferral rate jump to 7.35% from 5.25%, I believe it was. And with the with the escalations in April, we're going to see that number just rise. So
congratulations.
It
sounds great. Couple of things you picked up today that you're going to take back?
Yeah, you know, listening to the people around the room today, there was such a difference in companies that were there.
Different, yeah.
And what was great about the class today is it catered to all of our needs.
Right.
For me, I happen to work for a company who has great ownership buy-in. We have a committee in place. We have all of these things that are already in place, and yet there were so many people today that 401k has just been handed to them.
Yeah.
It's now sitting in their lap, and yet we were all able to take things away from it. I mean, for me, it's to go back and review the plan documents that maybe I don't fully understand, which I don't. For me, it's to go and review our loan policies, which I always thought were a great thing, and in actuality can be detrimental to a plan. So there's so many different things that I think each and every person, I mean, there wasn't one person in the room who didn't come away with something today.
And the stretch match you talked about too.
Oh yes. On the stretch match, it's like it's a term that I had never even thought of.
Right.
And
I'm certainly going to go investigate that, speak to our 401k committee about it, and take back some of the other things that just really stood out at me today. So.
Well, good. Well, thanks for your time today, Wayne.
Thank you.
And thank you for watching 401k TV. Stay tuned.